It's the middle of March in Zone 9B, and it's actually St. Patrick's Day, and I did not look in the mirror this morning when I got dressed, so Merry Christmas. But anyways, so I have some asparagus crowns that are coming, and they should be getting here hopefully today. We are kind of flooded in due to some last minute winter weather. We are next to a slough, we're near the coast, so we flood. But anyways, I did plant some asparagus last year at the wrong time, so I don't really know how it's gonna do. What happened was we moved and I had to move the asparagus. So it moved with me, so I don't really know what condition it is. You're supposed to let it like do its thing for 3 years before harvesting. But I did have a couple of the spears come up, and I just of course let them turn into ferns like you're supposed to, and they're planted between this pot and that pot. So I'm not gonna dig a trench there because supposedly there is some asparagus planted. I am gonna weed it because you're not supposed to have a bunch of grass growing up around it. We're gonna mulch it with some bark mulch, but I've got all this other space beyond that pot that I'm gonna dig a trench for and prepare for the other crowns that are coming. And basically I found this really I think it's cool because I like to garden with ducks. So I will dig up sod pieces and then I take it into their run, and when I can't let them out and they're just in the run, they have the sod to eat, so they always have fresh grass, and that benefits the garden because then I don't have the grass coming up and stealing nutrients from my plants, and I can just mulch around it. So I don't want to recreate the Dust Bowl or anything, but luckily I'm not in the Great Plains, and a lot of this is crabgrass, which, if you know, that just kind of sends out runners. It's not even a true grass. It has its place, I will say. It takes a lot for the ducks to destroy it, so I like it in their run. So I'm going to be digging that up and moving it, and we're going to see if when we till the area that I do till, because I don't till the whole garden, I just till part of it depending on what I'm planting. We will see if that makes a difference in weed suppression or not. Okay, so starting at this pot here, I can see the remnants of one of the old ferns from last year right here. You are supposed to clip those off, but I didn't because I want to see where they are so I don't accidentally mess them up. So I'm going to go ahead and move this pot because it's just marking the spot. Right here is where I'm going to start my trench. And the trench, according to resources online, is supposed to be 8 inches deep and 10 inches wide. And basically you'll want to put the crowns down, I want to say maybe 11 inches apart. I have to look that up. But anyway, you put them down, and then as they grow you fill up the trench, and by the end of the year you won't have a trench anymore. And that is how you're supposed to plant asparagus, and I'll show that a little bit later once my crowns get here. But right now we're just gonna dig the trench. I already did this wrong because I want to have some dirt here that I can pile in, because like this is really good sandy loamy soil, so this is good dirt. But so I'm going to shake some of that off, and then I have some stuff I'm digging out of their run, so I'll bring that dirt. We're going to just play, I don't know, a game where we exchange dirt. It's the same dirt, they're in the garden too. But yeah, I'm going to try to just like get the sod pieces here. I forgot to get my cart. I'm gonna fill up my little garden cart, and I'll go get that in a minute. And we're gonna just put the sod pieces in and move them into the ducks area. But I'll get that in a second. Just a little bit excited to get going on this, and I didn't have everything I needed. Another thing that would be good to do, so you have straight rows, is to run a string. I should do that, so I'm going to do that because I'm tired of curving rows. Okay, so now I feel a little bit more prepared. I have my little cart here, and I have some hot pink string and these orange markers so I can attempt to make my row a little bit straighter. So I'm gonna stick this marker in the ground lining up with this bad boy, and there's a rock tied to this. I don't know why, but we're just gonna go with that. And we'll unwind the string. Oops. This is a multi-purpose string that's used for all kinds of stuff, so I don't know. We're just gonna go with it. Here we go. And I don't know how long I'm gonna make this trench yet because I don't really know how many of the crowns that I ordered. I ordered 2 bunches, which is probably a lot. So I don't know, I might do like a couple, like 3 rows of them here, and I can extend it up here a ways if I want. I'm not sure. I think I'll extend it at least to right here for now. So, let's see. That looks pretty straight. Stick the stake in here. And we're just gonna kind of wrap this because I don't want to cut it. I want to reuse it for other purposes. Come on. So now I have a better idea of where to dig so my row's not curving and looking all bad, because asparagus is one of those things that you can plant, and even though it takes 3 years to establish itself before you can start harvesting, it's still like, it's gonna be here. If I maintain this right, it's gonna be here a long time, and it's gonna be basically part of my no-till area. And so I want it to be nice so that I can mow in between here, and I can just like not have the rows all stupid looking. So now that I have my stuff here, I'm gonna go ahead and continue on this line, using this as a guide, doing my little trench that's gonna be roughly 11 inches wide, and or is it 10 inches wide? We better look this up. Ah! Dang it. Okay, my clumsy self tripped on this, so we gotta fix this and pull this tight again, but no big deal. So the rows are going to be 10 inches wide roughly and 8 inches deep. That's the actual measurement. And the thing I saw online said that something about setting the plants 18 inches apart. I don't know about that, because like, I don't know about that. I'm gonna look that up and we'll worry about that when the plants come, but we're just gonna do the trenches for now. So when I do the sod pieces, I just kind of make a cut on one side, then I make a cut on the other side, and then I cut them into smaller, manageable pieces. I knock the dirt off the bottom, and then I take them to the ducks. So that's what we're gonna do. So now we've got the trench dug on both sides, about 10 inches apart. You can see it's pretty loose. So I'm just kind of going through here every couple of feet and cutting it this way so I can more easily pull the sod out and separate it. So just gotta go down here and do that all the way. All right, so now we're gonna try to remove these sod pieces, and I'll show you how I do that. So I've got this sod piece up, see, and you can you want to get as much of the dirt off as possible. So these trenches need to be like 8 inches deep, so I am going to take some of this dirt out, but I'll put it like alongside here to pile on top, but I'm going to worry about that in a minute because I don't want to take all this dirt into the duck pen. The idea is to get it down to just like the roots of the plant. So you can kind of do this. You can take like a little handheld hoe, kind of get it off, whatever you want to do. But you have to leave a little bit of dirt because that's how it's going to adhere and hopefully plant itself if the ducks don't completely kill it, which they might, but it's fine. It's still enrichment for them. I am going to take some of this out when I do the asparagus, but the crowns are not even here yet, so I'm not really worried about it. I'm just trying to get the sod pieces out and prepare this so that I don't have to do this huge job all in one day, although I'm probably going to be working on it for a few days because I have no idea how many crowns I ordered. The sun's in my eyes, but I'm grateful for the sun because it's been raining so much. But anyway, this row here that I just did is probably only enough for like maybe a half a bunch of the asparagus if it's about the same size that it was before. So I'm gonna take the sod. Seriously, the sun's bright. This cart full of sod, and I'm gonna put it in the duck pen for the ducks. Okay, so now I got this big heavy cart of sod in here, and I'm just gonna put it around the perimeter in here. And so it does two things. It provides enrichment for the ducks and they can eat it. And then it also, if it takes root, which hopefully it will, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't. Either way, it just kind of, we have a no dig apron out here, And then I have rocks on the outside. I'm expecting plants to still grow through. In fact, I want them to. I'm gonna plant some like thyme or something pollinator friendly that we can also use on the outside, like some creeping thyme. And then we'll just have this on the inside. So it just kind of, the roots of the plants and everything will hold the no-dig apron down and not have a gap that anything can try to get through, and like predators and stuff. So just taking pieces of sod and kind of just fitting it in here under the board here to just kind of create a barrier. All right, so in this corner and then back behind me here, that little area is basically what I did with that amount of sod that was in the cart, and it looks really good right now. And this is the sod I did a couple weeks ago, right down there. Doesn't look so good, but if you look at it closely, like, it's still here, the roots are still there. It's just eaten down a lot, so that might come out of it, maybe not with the ducks constantly biting at it. We shall see. But they're out of their pen right now. This run is just for them when I'm not wanting to be outside, because we have a lot of hawk pressure and eagles and osprey and stuff. So this is for when I can't be out with them, so they can stay safe. And even if it doesn't really establish itself, it's good. It gives them some enrichment. They'll eat that, they'll enjoy it, so it's fine. Dirt on my face, but that's the least of my problems. It is absolutely nasty today. It's awful. I don't know when, or if it's, obviously eventually it's gonna get better, but I don't know when in the immediate future. And the asparagus got here, and I've been working on planting strawberries, which is why I'm all muddy. I don't know if that even shows up. Anyways, but I need to get this asparagus in the ground. So I have a couple of corrections. I was looking at like the University of Iowa's website or something. So the information I was giving is actually for cold weather. So if you live in the Midwest, that's how you do it. But here on the West Coast in Zone 9B, apparently according to this, my trenches should be about 12 inches wide and 4 to 6 inches deep. You can do 10 to 12 if you're in a colder growing zone. And then you gotta space your trenches 3 to 4 feet apart. And I'm gonna try to take the camera with me despite the rain and kind of show what I'm doing, but it's gonna be kind of fast and not as much because it's just not a very pleasant day. Here's our row that is more or less about a foot wide, and I don't know if you can tell. Oops. I don't know if you can tell, but it is about 4 to 6 inches deep. And so basically what we need to do, and I'm going to try to do, is we need to make a little ridge here in the center. So I'm kind of take this little hand hoe and kind of put some of this dirt in the center, and that's going to take a little bit of time, and it's raining, so I'm not going to film all that, but I will show what the end product is. But this is basically how I'm doing it, is I'm just going down either side here and creating a little ridge, and basically the crowns are going to sit on top of that ridge. Okay, now we've got this cute little trench with this little ridge. If you can see it in the center, it goes all the way down. Okay, so we just kind of try to drape them over that ridge, if you can see. That's what I tried to do. And now we're going to cover it with about 2 inches of soil, so like this top part here will still kind of be out. So 2 inches, yeah, it'll be like right about there. So just the top part will be covered, and it'll still kind of be a trench. All right, so now we have just the like very tops here sticking out. I could have probably buried those a little deeper, like down here. That's kind of more what I'm going for. So I might add some more. I added some potting soil. I'll fix that a little bit. Like I said, it's raining, so I'll probably fix this a little bit better, but I'm just trying to get it in the ground. So the next step here would be to water it well, but since it's raining, I'm not really worried about that. I'm gonna kind of fill it in a little bit better, and as the shoots grow, we bury it little by little, just keeping the tops out. So I'm gonna try to cover that a little bit better, and then as the shoots grow, we just leave like a little bit out of the top, and that's pretty much it. We just do that for the first season. I've kind of grown asparagus before, but I'm not like a professional at it, so this is just me trying, and I can update later on how it goes. I'm gonna start a second trench I'm gonna do it about 3.5, 4 feet. So basically right down the middle between here. Asparagus, you can plant it and it keeps coming back. So trying to allow enough space for like my lawnmower to go between. So I think 4 feet, and I'll start it about where I'm standing, and then I'll do sod and do the whole process over again. And then I'll have 2 nice long rows of asparagus, hopefully. So some more time has passed, and I think it's finally time to wrap up this video. I've now since planted 2 rows of asparagus, which you can kind of see. I need to mow here. That's kind of how I take care of this, but I think it's supposed to go back to raining again tomorrow. We have 1 nice day, 2 nice days, 2.5 anyways. So I don't know. Basically, once the asparagus starts to sprout through here, which if you can see, there's like dirt over it, about 2 inches of dirt. Once it starts to sprout through here, it'll look just like spears stuck in the ground. Like it looks fake. It looks really weird. But I'm gonna use bark mulch to mulch that and just leave the tip out. So you don't wanna cover it completely. And I'll probably make an updated video. I'm not gonna add on to this video, it's long enough, but I'll make another video and show what that looks like when the time comes. But right now, till it starts like growing, I think we're good.